Teaching Desmos's Activity Builder and Computation Layer to High School Math Teachers. Within the Roseville Joint Union High School District, there are more than 10,000 students. Over the past few years, an enormous amount of money has been put into RJU HSD's Digital Equity Initiative, the one-to-one program in which the district has put a Chromebook into the hands of every one of those 10,000 plus students. As a district, we purchased Chromebooks specifically to meet the needs of our students. The Chromebooks came with an understanding that they would address certain district goals, those being to increase the number of students meeting or exceeding standards on CASP math, and to decrease the number of students not meeting standards. Our community has been incredibly supportive of the Digital Equity Initiative, and why wouldn't they be? Their children were getting computers and using those computers in a world that uses technology at a rapidly increasing rate. Additionally, there was the premise that these devices would help support our students in the subject most feared yet most obsessed over, mathematics. The specific plan of how this transition would take place in the math classroom was largely glossed over, though not irresponsibly so. It simply had to take a back seat to getting all the teachers comfortable with how to actually implement the usage of Chromebooks in the classroom. Over the past few years, there has been a systematic implementation of professional development opportunities to help teachers learn the basics of these tools. We have partnered with external entities such as EdTech Team, as well as empowered individual teachers in-house to get teachers comfortable and confident with the basic implementation of these devices. Obviously, with the devices running Google Chrome, much of that work has focused on G Suite and the variety of Google tools and apps. At this point in our district's progress, however, teachers need more focused training on effective implementation of Chromebooks in the math classroom and how teachers use them specifically to support students learning math. During the past few years, what has happened has been a differentiation between math teachers who are comfortable with implementing various technologies in their classroom and those who are not. How much a given student uses their freshly provided Chromebook in their math class has largely been a function of chance. It has become increasingly common for two math teachers teaching the same course to have wildly varying uses of technology in their classrooms. Because of the math teachers' differing levels of expertise with technology, the experience of a student in one class is often completely different than a student in another, and our community is taking notice. We are beginning to see the dwindling of the goodwill we had enjoyed when first implementing the Digital Equity Initiative, and for good reason. In the math classrooms throughout our district, there's often a lack of equity with regards to the use of appropriate math technologies. The instruction of these teachers is still excellent, but our teachers and the community, but our students in the community are demanding a fulfillment of the hope that was presented to them when first embarking on the Digital Equity Initiative. In the math community at large, Desmos is certainly taking lead in math education for grades 6 through 12. There are other entities such as GeoGebra or Khan Academy, and they are certainly well known, but the aims of these, and Khan Academy specifically, are different than Desmos. Khan Academy can ask as a supplement or support for the teacher Khan Academy can ask as a supplement, can operate as a supplement or support for a teacher and student, providing videos or practice sets that students work through. Desmos is something very different, built to be a tool used for in-class math instruction. Though accessed via Chromebook, Desmos is incredibly supportive of live in-class student verbal discourse and helping teachers provide math instruction that is community-based and explorative in nature. At this point in time, it is necessary for RJU HSD to develop some institutional knowledge and specific skill sets for the math teachers within the district. We want digital equity in our math classrooms. What has happened so far has been that math teachers have gone down one of three paths. Some have resisted, intentionally or through trepidation, or only begun to take initial steps towards implementation. Others have taken very intentional steps toward using Desmos and Desmos's Activity Builder in their classrooms, but still have a great deal to learn about all that Desmos's Activity Builder can do to support their math learners. And others have truly been trailblazers, leading the charge. They have not only gone out and trained themselves up individually, but have often gone out of the district to teach others to use Desmos at regional math and tech conferences. Still, they have more to learn as Desmos continues to build out the functionality of their offerings. Specifically, Computation Layer is a powerful yet underutilized tool allowing teachers to build even more dynamic and engaging lessons. Wherever our teachers are, there is a place for them to grow and next steps for them to take. In this project specifically, we will begin by recruiting teachers with expertise with Desmos' offerings. Those same teachers who are already presenting on Desmos, as well as look in-house to enlist our other teachers who are local experts but maybe haven't done formal presenting elsewhere. Ideally, we'll end up with a team of around 12 teachers, which will form our coaching team. Regardless of the exact size, 1/3 of that coaching team will focus on those in the beginner thread, 1/3 will focus on teachers in the intermediate thread, and the final third of the coaching team will focus on the advanced thread. We will meet as a team over the coming summer and concretize our offerings based for the 3 district professional development days. Generally speaking, each of the 3 threads, the beginner, intermediate, and advanced, will take logical progressive steps, taking the teachers from where they are in their ability and expertise with Desmos and moving them farther along down the continuum. Teachers in the beginning thread will focus on using Desmos and Activity Builder, going from finding Desmos activities online and be able to use them in their class, progress towards adapting those activities for their own class's purposes, and eventually move towards an end goal of being able to create their own activities from scratch. The intermediate thread will start by building their own activities, progress to some advanced features within Desmos' Activity Builder, and finally be introduced to Computation Layer, a relatively recent addition to Desmos that allows teachers to build activities that put student thinking at the center in ways that was previously not possible. The advanced thread will start with the introduction of Computation Layer, progress towards adapting other activities that incorporate Computation Layer, and ultimately move towards writing their own Computation Layer coding from scratch as they implement their own creative ideas. Regardless of where a teacher starts the year, the focus will be on moving them further along with their expertise in Desmos, as well as build up the district's institutional knowledge of Desmos so that teachers can continue to support one another beyond the timeframe of this project. The biggest takeaway from this process was growing in an appreciation of all the work that others have put in when seeing a project through from start to finish. It's easy to criticize, but I think by and large, people are doing their best. Having an appreciation that while I may dislike certain aspects of a project, it was likely a decision made based on many other factors I never even considered. And when a factor was simply overlooked, this process has helped me understand that I need to have some grace for those leading it, particularly for folks in education. The second biggest takeaway was the idea of buy-in and motivation. My passions and excitements aren't always going to necessarily be the same as everyone else's, and really working to see things from a variety of perspectives can only help to improve your project. Getting feedback and actually letting that feedback impact your plan are key. It may be difficult to let go of your project just how you envisioned it, but having more eyes than your own to go through a project, ask questions of the project, and even try to poke holes in the project will certainly make the final product stronger and more beneficial for all involved.